Dear Greta Thunberg, my name is Jonathan Matta. I'm 14 years old and I'm also very concerned about the environment. We at Preserve Liberty are grateful for your caring about the earth and wanting to pass a better, cleaner, safer planet on to the next generation. My family and I are personally involved in helping improve our environment by gardening, composting, recycling, using low-flow water devices, using LED lighting, driving less and walking more, participating in the renewable energy program with our local electric utility, and more. I live near the Sierra Nevada mountains and are regularly out in nature and practicing good environmental stewardship. Both of my older brothers are Eagle Scouts, and I'm about to earn my Eagle Scout rank by the end of this week, and by God's grace before my 15th birthday. In almost 10 years of scouting, I probably have had a lot more hands-on environmental stewardship experience than the great majority of people who may talk about it. For example, a service project I did for the rank of Eagle Scout involved building several planter boxes for a local sustainable community garden. I agree with you that environmental stewardship is vital to our quality of life and that of future generations. We want you and all those who are in a panic about the reports of impending environmental cataclysm to be able to objectively analyze the climate data, identify areas where we can make a positive impact, and to stop panicking, because the data indicates that in nations that have private property and free markets, the air and water quality is improving, landfill per capita is decreasing, as recycling and composting is practiced and increasing, and other measures such as surface temperatures and Arctic ice pack are relatively stable. This is good news. Here's something we must impact. In developing nations, especially those which practice communism like private property and ban free markets, pressure must be applied so they adopt stricter, more Western environmental standards, implement private property ownership, and ingrain free markets where environmental abusers can be held accountable for damages. This is unlike communist and totalitarian countries where the government controls the means of production without regard for environment, and where vast tracts of government property facilitate dumping there and abuse of the land because there is no accountability. Let's take a look at just a handful of scientific reports and then conclude with a short list of specific action steps which will be used to impact the environment for good. First, our worldindata.org reports the decreasing sulfur dioxide air pollution in North America between 1980 and 2010, 10 million tons down from 30 million tons, and Europe, 20 million tons down from 71 million tons, versus increasing sulfur dioxide emissions for Asia, 52 million up from 37 million tons, and Africa, 7 million tons up from 4 million tons. The American Council on Science and Health reports that Asia and Africa are causing 90% of the plastic pollution in the world's oceans. According to the Global Warming Policy Foundation, worldwide polar bear numbers have risen from about 22,500 in 2005 to about 30,000 in 2017, and some have called for a reassessment of their endangered status. Here's a graph from realclimatescience.com showing the August 22nd average maximum temperature at all U.S. historical climatology network stations decreasing over the past 100 years by about 1 degree Fahrenheit. Keep in mind that during the same period, the world population increased fivefold from 1.5 billion to 7.7 billion, 1895 through 2000. And the Industrial Revolution was in full swing with huge increases in automobiles, factories, and coal-consuming machinery. Please click the link below to read the recent article. 500 climate scientists write to the United Nations that there is no climate emergency, contending that spending trillions on the issue is cruel and imprudent. Regarding measures of U.S. air and water quality, read the EPA report that between 1970 and 2018, the combined emissions of the 6 common pollutants, including sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide, volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide, lead, and particulates, dropped 74%. This progress occurred while the U.S. economy continued to grow. Americans drove many more miles, and population and energy use increased. Click below to read an article documenting that in the past 50 years, all predictions of environmental cataclysm have been 100% wrong. Please click the link to watch a 5-minute video entitled Climate Change, What Did the Scientists Say? By Dr. Richard Lindsay, who is an MIT atmospheric physicist and climatologist. Unhealthy air days show significant long-term improvement, EPA data, showing that air quality is improving dramatically in the USA and Western world, where there are private property and free markets. You can visit all of the aforementioned sources down below. Links are labeled and categorized in the description. In conclusion, yes, let's be serious-minded, committed conversationalists who actively work to improve our environment. But no, we should not be panicking about the environmental cataclysm because the data just doesn't seem to support it. Here's a simple 5-step conclusion and action plan. Number 1, let's all do what we can locally to help our environment, including gardening, recycling, composting, using water and electricity frugality, educating ourselves about good stewardship, etc. Number 2, let's stop panicking because the scientific data does not evidence any existential threat to us or the environment, but rather that progress is being made in the areas of reducing air and water pollution among the Western free market nations. Number 3, let's focus our attention of pressuring nations in Asia and Africa, especially China, which has an abysmal environmental footprint and pollution record, to reduce air and water pollution. Number 4, let's review the facts about renewables technology to determine which options are viable in terms of producing clean energy cost-effectively. And number 5, let's urge climate hypocrites like Al Gore and Leonardo DiCaprio, who fly their private jets, drive SUVs, and live in large carbon footprint homes, to personally adopt a more environmentally sound lifestyle themselves. Greta, we want you to sleep well and personally enjoy peace. And as we work together on this 5-step plan outlined above, together, we must actively practice and teach good environmental stewardship, pressure all nations to implement private property and free markets, hold polluter nations accountable, and encourage all people, even the rich and famous, to do their fair share to help the environment. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to send me an email at jonathan@preserveliberty.com. See you next time on Ideas That Work.